Hey, I am having so much fun sketching my villain, Disney villain, and she is Ursula, obviously, from The Little Mermaid. And I love Ursula. I love that she sings Poor Unfortunate Souls, my favorite ballad in the entire Disney collection. I just love her diva attitude. I love that she has the same exact mole as me. And so I started off this sketch with some big ovals to map out where I wanted her to be in my sketchbook. And then what I did was I went over and I darkened up those areas that I wanted to stand out, my lines. Then I lightened the areas of my sketchy lines with my kneaded eraser. Now I messed up on my facial proportions. I made her head way too big for her body, but it works because she's got a big head, big diva, right? She just is such a powerful force to be reckoned with. So I was doing this sketch for one of my sketchbook challenges that I'm giving to my intro to 2D class. And the challenge was Disney, so I chose my favorite villain, of course. And I had fun getting my watercolor pencils out. I'm using a dusky purple and I outlined her hands and her arms and her facial features. And I took a clean brush and dipped it in water and I wet the area down that I wanted to stay really light first. And then I moved my brush towards the edges of where the line of color starts and then I pull the color in that saturation inwards. And I added some aqua above her eyes to blend in and make that darkness for her eyeshadow. And I'm just now realizing that I didn't add in her mole or her dark eyebrows in this video, so I went back and I did that later. And right now I am drawing the inside of her body, and I'm just scribbling that in because with the watercolor pencils, you don't have to be too exact at first. Your lines don't have to be too clean. I'm just getting space filled. I'm using some Shiraz and some nice dark violet and some ink black to create some depth and value so that everything didn't just blend in together. So again, I'm just filling up that surface area with my watercolor pencils. If I want it to look darker, I pressed down harder. And I used my kneaded eraser to clean up all the dust that happens when I press down hard. And I just added some water to my brush and I just let them blend together. You can see the highlight from the light that I'm using. That's showing that this is nice and wet and shiny. And then I add some salt onto the watercolor while it's still wet. Once I'm done painting that area, because I don't want to smear the salt around, that'd be silly. And the water is going to be absorbed by the salt and giving a crystallized snowflake effect. So I thought that looked really cool for the body of Ursula instead of just making it a flat black like the image I was using. And I added some alizarin crimson to really make it stand out. And I just went around and did all my nice little dots on the edge for the suction cups of the tentacles to have fun with that. And I cleaned up the edges and I used a really cool color for the red. And it was like poppy red for the lips. And I did carmine pink for the inside of the tongue. And then again, some of that aqua green for some of the hair and the ink black for the eyes and the outlines of the hair. And I did a cute little earring and my favorite part, the nautilus shell that she stole. And here's that poppy red for the nails. I had too much fun doing this. I hope everybody is having fun sketching at home. Can't wait to see all these sketches online once you post them.